The power of video for massive influence and engagement. My aim is to teach you to become an internet marketer so that you can promote your own website, or so that you can promote someone else's, so you can run a business, or so that you can create an SEO service. But I don't just want you to be an internet marketer. I want you to be a cut above the rest. And that means getting real. What do I mean by this? I mean that you need to stop doing all the bits that are easy to do at home on a computer, and to instead start getting involved in real business. This means that you need to go to those networking events I mentioned earlier. It likewise means you need to make videos. Get in front of the camera, learn to edit, invest in some good quality background music. Yes, it can be stressful, and it's something that might not come naturally to you. But if you can create high-quality video as well as high-quality content and SEO, then you will be leagues above most of the internet marketing gurus out there. Video can make all the difference to your marketing campaign. Firstly, that's because it is something that a lot of people can't easily do. If you have a good camera, if you know how to edit, if you can present yourself well on camera, then you immediately set yourself apart as a professional. Now you are someone to be listened to and trusted. On the other hand, if you are just running a website and filling it with articles and stock images, from the perspective of your audience, you could very well be a kid in your mom's basement. There's nothing wrong with that per se, but if you're trying to establish trust and authority, then a video will go a long way. Likewise, a great video is also a perfect tool for increasing the amount of engagement with your audience and building a stronger relationship. Trust me on this one. If you have a YouTube channel that is moderately successful, you'll build a much more loyal and engaged following than you would through a website alone. For many creators, this is the big change they need and can make a huge impact to their growth. That's because talking on film means they get to know you. They're more likely to watch all the way through because video is naturally more engaging, and you can convey more emotion with music, clips, animation, and more. So, don't be afraid of this step. It could be the crucial difference that defines your success going forward. Invest in a good camera and step in front of it. And as an aside, if you're selling a product on a landing page or promoting a business through a homepage, then adding an explainer video or persuasive sales video can make a massive difference. So many companies struggle with the single most basic and important job of any homepage, explaining precisely what it is that business does. I really have a pet peeve of landing on a business site and being told that it uses cloud-based solutions to provide synergistic process fixes through VAS and POS software systems. Showing off with clever words does not make sales. But having a video that plays automatically and explains clearly and concisely what the business does will. Branding and building a brilliant website. Absolutely central to all of this is branding. In today's environment, having a brand for your website or business is the most valuable thing you can do to ensure engagement and to build success. And it ties in with just about everything we've said so far up to this point. Your brand is what should tie your entire message together and what should help to perfectly target your ideal audience. It's what will elevate your site above being just another spammy site designed to get ads and turn it into something that people and Google love. Google came out several years ago now and said that it would support brands more in the future. A lot of people reacted badly to this news, seeing it as an attack on the little guy. The assumption was that Google would now be a big fan of sites like Coca-Cola and not care about smaller, unknown creators. That's not the point at all. Small brands are fine. Personal brands are fine. Brands that use your name. What's not fine is calling your website something like ways-to-gain-abs.com. That's not a brand. That's a keyword. That's you making it abundantly clear to Google and your prospective visitors that you don't care about the quality of your work. You don't have professional pride. You have a tool for making money. A brand goes in hand with professional pride because it shows that you are keen to create something that people will remember and that you want to be associated with the work you do. If you build a brand, then you have a message and you have accountability. Think about it. All of the top websites that you visit currently have a strong brand. They likely have a great logo, their own style, a strong design language throughout their website. They know what they are, and they know who they're for. And this comes across in the quality of their layout, in the cohesion across their social media, all with the same username, the same logo, and the same ethos. And in the little touches like their video's background music and their bottom thirds. This is what makes something memorable and professional. And this is what you need to do as well. How do you create a brand? Creating a brand doesn't mean creating a logo. A logo is just one aspect of a brand, and it's not what comes first. What comes first is a mission statement. A mission statement is a phrase belonging to a business that says what it's all about. This should explain what, how, and why. What do you make, sell, or do? How do you do it differently? Why do you do it? I highly recommend watching Simon Sinek's excellent TED Talk on the Golden Circle at this point. It's called How Great Leaders Inspire Action. Most companies will think about the what. We make hats. We design websites. We provide legal advice. Many will think about the how. We use the best materials. We outsource to China. We resell, but with a value add. But the why is what matters most. This is the motivation that spurred you on to get involved in the business in the first place. It is what makes you get out of bed in the morning. And it's once again why you cannot have a successful website or business in a niche or industry that you don't truly care about. So, if you have a restaurant, maybe your why is because you want to introduce the world to healthier, cleaner, and more responsibly sourced food. If you have a website about fitness, maybe your why is because you want to inspire the feeling of accomplishment in your audience. Whatever the case, you need to understand this because it is what will give you your value proposition. It is what will give you your design language. And it is what will create your marketing opportunities for you. This will also allow you to find your buyer persona. This is your ideal customer. And through a combination of surveying and of thinking about your brand, you will be able to draw them up. Now, you need to ensure that your strategy is aimed at this person. It is a huge mistake to make a website that you want to be for everyone. If you do that, then it won't be particularly interesting or inspiring to anyone. The key to remember is to make people into real fans. Remember, content marketing and new SEO are about the quality of your followers, not the quantity. You want engagement. Ask yourself, is yours the kind of brand that someone can be a fan of? People just don't know about Apple. They are fans of Apple. People are fans of Tim Ferriss. They like what these brands stand for. They feel they know them. They want to associate with them. To get to that point where your site is inspiring to people, you need to stand for something other than getting clicks on your AdSense, web, and logo design. With all that decided, you can now go about designing your logo and your website. The logo should be simple, it should be minimal, and it should be versatile. This logo will be used across all your social media, on your website, etc. You need to avoid being cliché while at the same time making it clear what your site is about and who it is for. In an ideal world, the combination of your logo and company name should be enough on their own in order to let the right people know that your brand is for them. If you're struggling for ideas, try making a mood board. This is a collage made up of images, logos, site designs, and more that you like the looks of. Looking at these can help a lot to give you a kind of direction for your brand. If you put them all together on the page, you can then start to get ideas for unique ways of combining them, and that will give you ideas for your own design. Actually, build the logo using Adobe Illustrator. This creates vector files, which are files that can be resized to any degree without losing any of their quality, and which can be edited as well. JPEGs, PNGs, and GIFs are not portable or flexible enough for your uses. So that is another thing I want you to learn. I want you to learn to use Illustrator and to make good designs. Like videography and photography, this is a skill that will elevate you above spammer and into content developer. That's when you start to become highly in demand. WordPress. Finally, the website itself should be built using WordPress. This is a free tool used by over a quarter of the websites on the net, including many of the biggest brands. It is highly customizable. There is massive community support, and it is completely free. You can install new plugins with a single click to add more functionality, and you can install new themes in just the same way too. And by doing all these things, you'll be able to make sure your site meets all of the requirements we've learned about over the course of this training. That means being able to implement AMP, Accelerated Mobile Pages, with a single plugin, for instance. Being able to install a theme, and know your site will have a responsive, mobile-friendly layout, or being able to apply ad semantic markups. Using WordPress means using a tried and tested tool that has helped countless others to become highly successful. There's no good reason to introduce more elements of confusion into the mix, or to make life harder for yourself by using a tool with less support that requires you to implement these features yourself. your strategy. We've covered an awful lot here, but we still haven't covered everything. Not by a long shot. We haven't even touched on email marketing, for instance. Nor have we discussed how to go about conquering YouTube. We haven't really dived into good grammar, etc. for your blog posts. But this is about the bigger picture. This is about strategy. I hope you've learned enough to now understand how internet marketing works and what you need to do. It's about having a solid brand, one that people can get behind and feel excited for. It's about having a great logo, a modern web design and content that is unique and exciting. If you can do all of that, then you can create a brand that will inspire and create true fans and that Google will like too. It's about expanding your own skills to create wonderful multimedia content and branding. It's about being able to make videos, to understand the psychology of persuasive writing, to sell the dream through your social media. Develop your skills. Don't be afraid to step in front of the camera or to network in person to find those opportunities for collaboration. Be a real professional who is proud of your work. And the rest is just implementing a regular steady stream of high-quality content with subtle use of keywords and LSI. It is a matter of getting guest posts on the highest quality websites. It's a matter of sharing your content on social media. That is how you create a cohesive internet marketing strategy. An introduction to SEO. So now you know how money is made online and how you can get rich from a website that doesn't sell anything. More to the point, you know why you need traffic and eyes on your brand in order to be able to generate that money. And how do you get eyes on your brand? The number one option for most sites and businesses is to use Google. Google is by far the largest site engine, and most of us use Google to look up anything we want to know or use. Want to buy a hat? Then you'll probably search Buy Hats online. Want to find out the best exercises for getting great abs? Then you'll probably search for best ways to get great abs. Search engine optimization is all about making sure that your site is the one that comes up first or near the top when someone performs a relevant search like this. That way, people who are looking for your products or your content will find your site. This is still probably the most effective way to bring new visitors to your site and to increase your brand's visibility. But how do you get to that point? A brief history of SEO. To get your site to the top of Google, you need to get inside the mind of Google. That means cracking Google's algorithm and understanding how it indexes and ranks websites. There was a time that this was all very simple. Essentially, Google maintains a huge database of websites and keeps information regarding their subject matter, their quality, etc. When you search Google, it consults this database in order to present you with the most relevant responses. Google builds this database using spiders or bots. These are programs that trawl the web in order to scrape content and add it to the index. To find new pages, these bots will follow links on pages that are already in the index. Google decides which content is a good match or not, at least partly by looking for exact phrase matches. So, if you search for the term buy hats online and there's a website in its database that uses this phrase several times, it will consider it a match. It also considers quality, and one of the biggest indicators of this quality is the inward bound link. The reasoning behind this is that if a website has linked to your website, then it must approve of your website. This looks like a testimony of sorts, and so the more links that point to your site, the more important and high quality it is thought to be. And back when Google first launched, this was pretty much the only thing you needed to know about SEO. To get to the top of Google, you just needed lots of content that would use the same keywords over and over again. And you needed to get lots and lots of links pointing to your site, ideally from relevant sources. So, if you wanted to build a website about making money online, you would start by researching keywords. That would mean using Google's keyword tool in order to see which queries related to your topic were the most popular among users. In other words, which phrases get searched for the most. Let's say you then pick Make Money Online. From there, you then start adding new articles to your website, each containing the phrase Make Money Online a few times per paragraph. And on top of that, you then write content to submit to other websites, perhaps some content farms like eZine articles back in the day. Content farms are sites that let anyone add new content to their pages. This means that you could write 100 articles a month on how to make money online and ensure that each one included a link back to your website, using the anchor text Make Money Online. And with time, these practices would be enough to ensure that you got to the top of Google. But that was then. SEO is much more complex, and in many ways, it has evolved to the point of being something completely different. So, let's examine what it involves now, shall we?